I teach basically in KNMS 11th and 12th. So the first chapter, we'll start with the first chapter, and basically we will focus mostly on your NCERT books, fine. But we will deviate a little bit, and we'll touch we'll start with NCERT and we'll touch some JEE topics also. We'll start with the level of NCERT, the basic, very basic level, and then as we move forward, we'll touch the JEE level. Okay, and we'll do some questions based on the JEE level, JEE levels also. Fine. So the first chapter will be your the first chapter of your NCERT sets, right? Sets. Fine. So basically, the first is that why do we have to study sets, even though it is very basic? Why do we actually need to study sets? So the very fundamental reason, or the very basic reason to study sets, is basically the sets gives us the basic definition, or the basic it gives us the tools to represent, or it's basically, you can say that it's some language of mathematics. So basically, when we are talking about functions, when we are talking about relations and all, so first thing is to learn the language of maths. First, you have to learn the language of maths. Fine. And this language of maths, we have already seen a glimpse of this language of maths in your class 9th and 10th, where we started describing or defining different kind of sets. For example, defining or naming different kind of sets in maths. For a number system, for example, defining n was natural number. Defining r was real number. Defining z was integers. Defining q, rationals, q dash or q bar, irrationals. Okay, so basically we already have seen that what actually set means, or whole numbers, for as an example. So basically we have seen the sets is basically defines a language of mathematics, and first and to move further, to proceed further, first we have to know what is the basic language of mathematics. Fine. The first thing which we have already seen is different sets with a different sets which we have already defined on number system. Right? Sets of integers, sets of natural numbers, sets of whole numbers, sets of real numbers, and so on. Right? So after this we'll move on to different kinds of set and different notations of set. Okay, so the first kind of set which we'll see is empty set. Is the empty set. Now what does empty set means? As the name signifies, empty set is a set which does not contain any element. Okay, generally empty set is represented either by 5. Generally the empty set either will be represented by 5 or simply 2 curly brackets with nothing inside. Fine. So empty set is generally a set which does not contain any element. Fine. Suppose if I say an example that set of all numbers, set of all negative numbers from natural numbers. So set of all negative numbers from natural numbers, we know it will be an empty set, because in natural number there will be no negative number, right? So in that case, it's just an example. Fine. Okay. See. So basically, the set which does not contain any element is generally represented as empty set. Okay. The second kind of definition on set will be finite sets or infinite set. Or infinite sets. So first we will just look at the basic definitions, then we'll move further. So what is finite and infinite set? Basically, the finite and infinite set will be depending on, they are based on the cardinal number of the set. Cardinal number was the number of elements in a set, right? So finite set will, as the name signifies, finite set will have limited or finite number, limited or finite numbers in a set which we can count. For example, suppose a set of first 4 alphabets A, B, C, and D. Okay, so how many elements are there? There are only 4 elements. So these are finite elements, or the set of first 4 natural numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fine. So this is finite, where the cardinal number, if you remember, cardinal number was a number of elements in a set, right? So cardinal number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 elements, or suppose 1 and 2. For example, these are just examples, fine. So these are the examples of finite set, right? Now infinite set, and as the name signifies, infinite set will be the set which contains infinite number of elements. For example, set of natural numbers. Natural numbers have infinite numbers, 1, 2, 3, so on till infinity, right? So how many elements are there? Are countless number of elements. There are infinite number of elements. That's why we'll call this an infinite set, a set which does not have any limitation, the set which does not have a limited number of elements, fine. Or set of real numbers. Set of real numbers will be all numbers from minus infinity to plus infinity. So there is no definition, no limited elements of this set. Set of integers. Set of integers will be 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, and so on. No limit. Right? So these elements, these sets will be known as infinite set. Okay, everybody understood? Fine. Now see. Now next definition will be equal set. Equal sets. Now if they are talking about equal sets, that means they are talking about more than one set. If there is something equal, or if we are talking about something which are equal, that means we are talking about something more than one. That means there are more than one sets involved. So any two sets A and B, suppose we'll take an example of two sets A and B, they will be called equal sets. They will be called equal sets if every element of A, every element of set A is an element of set B, and vice versa, okay. So that means the number of elements, also the element themselves, have to be equal. The number of elements and the elements have to be equal. For example, suppose set A has element 1, 2, 3, and 4, and set B has element 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, fine. Now see, so the first set, which is set 1, 2, 3, 4, this has how many elements? This has 4 elements. And set B has how many elements? This has also 4 elements. But in this case, set A has one element extra, one element which is not contained in the set. That means the sets are not equal. Okay, so we'll represent set A is equals set A not equals to B if the elements, number of elements as well as the elements themselves are not equal. Okay, so for these sets to be equal, this set should have 5 in it and this set should have 1 in it. Okay, only then we can say the two sets are equal. For example, set A is equals to 1, 2, 3 and set B is equals to 1, 2, and 3. Only then we can say that set A is equals to set B, and it is denoted by equals or not equal. Set A is equals to B and set A is not equals to B. Fine. So this is the definition of equal set or unequal set. This will be for unequal and this will be for equal. Fine. Very basic definitions which you already have seen in some form before. Fine. Now okay, fine. So the first thing which we'll see now is a subset. After equal sets, now we'll see about subsets. Now what will happen if we are now subsets means if we are talking about, again we are talking about two sets, so subsets. Fine. Suppose we are talking about two sets X and Y. Fine. So we are talking about two sets X and Y where X contains the element even natural numbers, and set Y is a set of natural numbers. Fine. Where set 1 is basically, we'll call set X as even natural number. We are defining set S as even natural number and set Y as natural numbers. Fine. So we know if even natural numbers, so this will start from 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on till infinity, infinite set. And set Y will contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Fine. Now, so the thing to be noticed is that whatever element set y x will have, whatever element set x will have, this element will always be present in set y. No matter what element you take in set x, that element will be present in set y. Whatever element you will take in set x will be present in set y. So we can say that set x is a subset of set y. Okay, and we will represent a subset in this form, that x is a subset of y, or x belongs to y. In other words, every element of x, every element of set x has to be present in set y. Okay, every element of set x has to be present. Now suppose instead of even natural numbers, if I would have said even whole numbers, so in this set 0 would have been included. Now if in this set 0 was included, then this set will not have 0, so that means this set x will not be a subset of y. Everybody understood? Fine. So I hope you understood the definition of subsets also. Fine. Okay. Now see. Fine. I hope this is okay. Fine. So basically now we will see first thing that which I think you must already have seen. You must have already have seen in your 9th and 10th class. But I will explain it once again because it's given. It's also included in your 11th class, and which is very important. Fine. So suppose we have a number line. Okay. We have a number line. These are two elements A and B, where A is less than B, we already know. Okay. A is less than B, we already know. Fine. So I will describe different kinds of set which contains these elements, which contains the element in between A and B. Fine. So first thing is representation with close bracket A comma B. The close bracket A comma B. Fine. What does close bracket A comma B means? Suppose if I start from A, if I'm starting from A, that means I am standing on A, and if I move on right direction till the point I reach B, and then I am standing on B. That means all the elements between A and B, where A and B are also included. This square bracket means A and B are also included. So that means this is the all elements between A and B, all elements between A and B, or all real numbers between A and B, where A and B are also included. Okay, so in this case A and B are included, and also all the elements between A and B. This is okay. Now what does this mean? Fine. What does this mean? This is an open bracket. This means that all the elements between A and B, but A and B are not included. That means I am starting from A. I have already moved away from A, so I am not standing at A, and I will move till the point where I'm just next to B, Okay, so that means this will be all elements between A and B, all the elements between A and B, where A and B are not included, That means in between A and B, all the elements except A and B. Fine. For example, suppose if I take 1 to 2, if I'll just start writing some elements of this set, if I'll write the elements of this set, so this set will have 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on till 2. I cannot move away from 2. This set will also have 1.01, 1.001, 1.002 and so on, an infinite number of elements. Fine. But in this set, 1 and 2 will also be included. In this set, 1 and 2 will also be included. Fine. If I'll write this set 1 and 2, so this set will have elements. This set will have elements such as 1.001, 1.1, 1.2 and so on till 1.999999 and so on. Okay, so the last element will be something like this, 1.999999 infinite times 9, and the previous element will be the first element will be 1.000000001. Understood? So because we cannot write out the elements, we will write it in this form: A and B close open bracket. So these brackets are known as open brackets, and these are known as closed brackets. What is the meaning of closed brackets? That element will be included, and open bracket means that element will not be included. This is okay for everyone. I hope this everybody understood. This we have already seen before also. Fine. Now we will see some variation. We will see the mixed examples, mixed variation. So let's see. Suppose we have again from A to B. A and B are two elements where A is less than B. Fine. So suppose we have A and B. B is in closed bracket, A is in open bracket. So this set contains all elements between A and B, all elements between A and B, and B is also included. B is also included. Okay, B is also included. That means starting from A, where A is not included, and ending at B, where B is included. Again, this is open and this is closed. Closed means B will be included, open means A will be not included. Understood? Fine. Next is, suppose if I have A to B, what does this mean? All elements between A to B, now which will be included? Which element will be included? A. A will be included. One of the extreme A will be included and the other extreme B will not be included. So all elements between A and B and A is included. In this case, B is included, and in this case, A is included. I hope this part is okay. Fine, this part is okay. Now see, to represent this on number line, this thing I will represent with this part. I will represent. Suppose this is A, this is B. So this part I will represent with a filled dot, and this part I will represent with an open dot, and everything in between. Fine. This thing. This is A and B. This part I will represent with a filled dot, and this part I will represent with a open dot. This is okay. Fine. In the previous case, in this one, A and B. This is A, this is B. For this example, both sides I will represent with a closed filled dot, right? And for AB not included, this part I will represent with an open dot, both sides. Open, and everything in between. Open this side, open this side, and everything in between. Okay? I hope this everybody understood. Everybody is able to understand this part, right? This is a basic definition. Already you must have seen this many times. So that is why I'm just revising. This is just a revision of the previous. Okay, now this was a part of subset. Fine. Now next definition is universal set. Next definition is universal set. Now what does universal set represents? Universal sets. Fine. So universal set is basically a set which contains all the elements. Now this is very contextual. Contextual, I mean, what does I mean by contextual? That means if I'm talking about Maruti, if suppose I'm talking about Maruti car, or suppose if I'm talking about Hyundai car, right? So Hyundai car will be a subset, or what will be the universal set of Hyundai car? All the four-wheelers. All the four-wheelers in the universe will be the universal set for Hyundai car. Fine. Suppose if I'm talking about Honda motorcycle, suppose if I'm talking about Hyundai motorcycle, then all two-wheelers will be the universal set for Hyundai motorcycle. So it depends on what kind of a set we are describing, right? Suppose if you are talking about a set which contains 1, 2, and 3. So for this set, I can say that the universal set for this one can be either natural numbers or real numbers or integers or whole numbers and so on, right? So depending on my question, I will have a universal set. For example, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a set, and I have a set 1, 2. So I can say that for set 1, 2, I can say for set 1, 2, this set can be a universal set. And why this set can be a universal set? Because every element of this set is present here. Every element of this set is present here. So you can say that subset, that if this is a subset of this set can act as a universal set of this. This set can act as a universal set of this. Okay. So suppose if I have A belongs to B, then in some cases B can also act as a universal set for A. Why B can act as universal set for A? Because every element of A can be found in B. So B can be a universal set for A. Everybody understood? Fine. So every subset will, a universal set will have all the elements. So every subset of this, every subset of universal set will be a subset of its universal set. Yeah? Every set formed using this will be a subset of universal set. I hope this is okay. Till here, I hope everything is okay. All were very basic definitions which we have already seen. Okay. Now after this we'll move on to the Venn diagram. Venn diagram using sets. Fine. So if we are talking about sets, Venn diagrams comes in very handy. That means most of the questions based on sets can be solved using Venn diagrams only. Most of the question based on sets can be solved using Venn diagrams. Okay. So what is the basic need or basic usage of Venn diagram? So any set which we have been given, can be used and represented using Venn diagram, and we can see what are the intersection, what is the union, what is the universal set, what is the common, what is not common between all those. Fine. So suppose we are talking about a Venn diagram. So I'll draw different types of Venn diagram and represent what they actually means. So the Venn diagram, there will be always a box. This box basically represents universal set. Universal set. Okay. Universal set. In your books, you have been given universal set will be represented by U. Somewhere it will be represented by this notation. Okay. This notation was used in our school, but I was never able to draw this notation properly. So that is why this notation is very difficult to draw. So that is why they have used U as a notation for universal set, because U was never used before. So they have started using U. But somewhere they must, in some of the books you will see this kind of weird looking notation. So this also means universal set. However, this is not a proper representation because I was never able to draw the proper representation. Okay, let's see. So now universal set will be represented by a box. So that means every set inside this box will be a subset of this square. Fine. So suppose this will be represented by this. Suppose there is a set A. There is a set A. Set A is a set of even natural numbers. So this will have 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Right? And universal set in this case was given as natural numbers. Universal set here was given as natural numbers. So you'll have 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. All the odd natural numbers will be represented outside this set A, and all the even natural numbers will be represented inside this set. Understood? So basically, this is just this set A. This set A is just a part. This set A shaded region is just a part of the big ocean. This set A is just a part of the big set. Understood? Everyone? Fine. Now suppose This is just one representation that A is a part of big universal set. Now suppose there were two sets. Suppose there were two sets. Now how can I draw two sets inside a set? Inside a universal set. Now suppose this was a universal set. Now if there are two sets, let's see. Wait, I can draw two sets like this. I can draw two sets like this. I can draw two sets like this, or I can draw two sets like this. Fine, this is AB, this is AB, this is also A. Okay, so the first set, suppose this is the universal set. In all the cases, this will be considered as universal set. Inside the universal set, I am drawing two sets. So there are three possible cases of drawing universal set and two sets inside. Two sets completely separated, two sets having some part inside, and two sets completely submerged within one another. Fine. These are the three ways in which we can represent two sets within a universal set. Fine. So let's see the first part. The first part of the universe. The first part is this. Fine. So if this is set A and this is set B, are these sets touching each other? No. These sets are not overlapping or touching each other. That means there is nothing common between these two sets. If there is nothing common between these two sets, or we can say that there is nothing intersecting between these two sets. Nothing intersecting between these two sets. For example, if I take this as universal set as set of integers. If I'm taking this universal set as a set of integers, fine, and this set A as positive integers and this set B as negative integers, fine. If this is a set of positive integers, I can write in A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. And if this is a set of negative integers, I can write -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and so on, right? So what will be left out outside? Left out will be 0. 0 is neither included in positive integers or negative integers. So 0 is left out. All the positive integers are set A, all the negative integers are set A. This is okay for everyone. Fine. Now suppose if this is again set of integers. Now this is again set of integers. Now A is a set of non-negative integers. A is a set of non-negative integers. If A is a set of non-negative integers, that means A will contain 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Fine, because A is a set of non-negative integers. Now let's assume set B is non-positive integers. So set B will contain 0, -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. So what is common between set A and B? The common between set A and B is 0. So I will write it in this overlapping region. Understood? So this 0 is contained in A, this 0 is contained in set B also. Fine. And then the other part is, suppose you have everything of B, everything B inside A. Everything B inside A. For example, let's take set A as non-negative integers and set B as positive integers. So set B will be contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. And set A will contain 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So set B is completely inside set A. So every element of B will be present in set A also, and there is X. And what is left outside? -1, -2, -3 and so on. So these are different examples of a set containing inside a universal set. Two sets contained inside a universal set. Okay, fine. Everything is okay. Everybody understood? Fine. Let's see now different regions. Let's see now different regions. Okay. So now suppose if we have universal set and if we have two sets, fine. So suppose if I shade set A and if I shade set B, if I shade set A, this region, and if I shade set B, this region, fine. So I'm talking about this part as well as this part. So what I will call this part collectively, this part will be known as A union B. This part, this shaded region, if I take together, will be known as A union B. Okay, we already know what A is. If I'll just say A will be this part inside, and what is B will be this part. This is okay. This is okay for everyone. Okay, let's see. Next part. Suppose if I'll talk about this region. Let's start. Suppose if I'll talk about this region. Fine. So what is this region? This green part. This green part will be, suppose this whole set was U. So this green part will be U minus A union B. That means A union B, these two parts I have removed, from the union of the set. So this is U minus A union B. This is okay for everyone. These two parts, I think this you must have done before also. This is just a understood? Fine. Let's look at the next example. Fine. Let's say this is A and this is B. This is A and this is B. Okay. So first thing, in this case, there was no intersection. There was no intersection between these two parts. So let's shade this region. So what does this region shows us? This region shows us whatever is inside A, whatever is common in A and common to B. Whatever is common to A and common to B. So I will represent this region, green, this part inside will be represented as A intersection B. This is a notation, A intersection B. This green part will be represented as A intersection B. This is okay for everyone? Fine. Now suppose if I'm talking about this region, I'm talking about this region only. So this region will be called as, A only. This region will be called as, first I'll use different marker, different shade. Suppose this. Fine. So this shaded region will be called as A only or only A. Fine. This is A only or only. Anything you can call. Sometimes they will call A only or sometimes they will call only. So that means this region, this part which has only elements of A. This does not have elements of B. This will also be represented by A minus B. This part will also be represented by A minus B. What does it mean? That whatever elements of A were, from those elements we are removing all elements of B. Okay. So see, in this complete set A, what were the elements of B? This part was the part which contained the elements of B also. This part which is intersection was containing the elements of B also. Yes. So that means from A, if I'll remove B, if I'll remove this B, that means from A whole thing I'm removing this part. So if I'm removing this part, only which is part left is only A. So this can be represented as this or this. Anything is okay. Either we'll represent this as A only or it will represent this as A minus B. Or we can also represent this part as A minus A intersection B. That means from whole A, I have subtracted A intersection B. That means from this part, I have subtracted this part. Fine. Okay. So similarly, we can show what is this part. So this part will be nothing but only B. This part will be nothing but only B or B minus A. This will be only B or B minus A. But this part was only A. So this part will be only B. Fine. So I will just show it once again. Fine. So what was, let's name different regions. So what is this part? This part is A intersection B. This part is A intersection B. This part is only A. This part is only A or A minus B or A minus A intersection B. This part is only A or A minus B or A minus A intersection B. So what will be this part? This part will be only B or B minus A or B minus A intersection B. Fine. So we know what is this part. We know what is this part. We know what is this part. Collectively, this whole thing, these two circles, this part and this part contained will be known as A union B. Collectively, this whole thing will be known as A union B. Okay. And whatever is left out, this part is left out, right? This part is left out. So whatever is left out will be known as U minus what is this? A union. So U minus A union. Okay, so whatever is left out will be B minus A union. Fine. Just look at this once again. Then we move on to the next part. Fine. So this is the basic notation. Okay. So there is one more representation or one more term which is used in set and Venn diagram is complement of a set. So we'll have the next definition as complement of set. Fine. So complement of set, what does it mean? That suppose you have a universal set. So whatever complement I'm talking about, except that everything else in the universal set will be called as its complement. Except that part, everything in the universal set will be called as its complement. For example, suppose this is set A, and complement is represented by this inverted comma. Fine. So let's see. A complement will be everything except A. So this whole region will be A complement. Fine. So everything except A will be A complement. Suppose we have B. So B complement will be everything except B. So everything except B. Only this part will not be included. Everything except B will be B complement. Fine. A intersection B is this part. A intersection B complement will be everything except this part. Fine. So let's see. Let's name the region. So if we'll name the region, this is region 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay. So I will write the terms. I will write the name of the set. You write down by yourself which region will it contain. Fine. So let's see. A complement. What will be included in A complement? What will the A complement set contain? Think about it and write it down. So what will A complement contain? A complement will contain which region? A complement will contain region 1 plus 4. Region 1, whole of this thing, and region 4, this part. Understood? B complement will contain which region? B complement will contain which region? B complement will contain which region? Now, except B everything. What are the regions contained? 1 and 2. So B complement will contain 1 and 2. This is okay. Fine. A intersection B whole complement. That means except 3, everything will be included. So that means 1, 2 plus 4. Fine. A union B whole complement. That means except 2, 3, 4, everything. That means only 1. Fine. Let's take some different ones. A complement intersection B. Think about it. What will be A complement intersection B? A complement intersection B. Think about it, what will be A complement intersection B? Okay, let's see. So what does A complement contains? A complement contains 1 and 4. A complement contains 1 plus 4. Okay, and what does B contain? B contain 3 plus 4. Okay, so what will be the intersection of 1 plus 4 and 3 plus 4? What is the intersection between these two? The intersection between these two is 4. That means A complement intersection B is nothing but 4. Okay, and we have already seen what is this region called. What is the 4 region called? We have already seen what is the 4 region called. Think about it. We just have told you. I just have told you what is the region 4. Only region 4 called. This region 4 is also called only B. This region 4 is also called only B. That means only B can also be represented as A complement intersection B. Yes or no? Think about it. Only B can also be represented by A complement intersection B. Okay, something like this, something using like this, exactly like this. We can also tell what is only A. Think about it. What is only A in this form? What will be only A in this form? What will be only A in this form? If only B is A complement intersection B, then only A will be something like B complement intersection A. Yes. What is contained in B complement? B complement has elements 1 and 2. B complement has elements 1, 2, right? Intersection. What does A has? A has elements. A has region 2 and 3. A has region 2 and 3. So what will be the intersection between these two? The intersection between these two will be 2. That means this part. Understood? That means this part will be only A. So this everybody understood? Fine. Different notations, different way of representing same parts. Fine. So this was complement. Complement means except that part, everything else. Everything else means only from universal set. Only from universal set. Suppose this is a universal set of ice cream. Suppose this is a universal set of ice cream. Okay. So if I am talking about there is a set A inside. So set A will have vanilla. Suppose A set has vanilla. So if I am talking about A complement, then A complement set will not contain scooter, will not contain cycle, will not contain books, will not contain pencil. Why? Because universal set was only the set of ice cream. Okay, so A complement will not contain everything except in this whole universe. It will contain everything else only in what? Only in the universal set. So complement is also a part. Is a term which is comprising of what? Comprising of a universal part. So the whole world of this complement will be only contained in universal. Fine. Everybody understood? Very good. Okay. Very good. Fine. So let's see. Let's see if we can find an example. Okay, let's see. I'm writing an example using the Venn diagrams. I'm writing an example. So you have to solve using this set problem using the Venn diagram. You have to solve the set problem using the Venn diagram. I'm writing the question. I will give you some time. I'll write a question. I will give you some time. I want everyone to please solve it. Don't just look at the question and just think that okay, sir will solve it anyways. We will not do. It will not help you. I will write a question. I want you to try it. I want you to solve it. After 2-3 minutes, I will solve it for you. Okay? That's it. If x and y are two sets such that x and y are two sets such that x union y has 50 elements. Right? X union y has 50 elements and x has 28 elements and y has 32 elements. Then what is the element x intersection y? Then what is the element x intersection y? A very basic question. I want you to solve it. Okay, so let's see. So basically what they are saying that there is a universal set, fine, and there are two sets x and y, fine, and they are saying that x union y has 50 elements. That means this whole region contains 50 elements. X union y is equals to 50 elements. X has 28 elements. That means this part has 28 elements. This part has 28 elements and y has 32 elements and y has this total as 32 elements. That means if I'll take x union y, suppose this part is k. If I'm taking this part as k, okay, so what will this part, how many elements will x has? This only x. This will have x minus k. And how many elements will this has? This will have y minus k. Fine. So if I take the union of all, so this will be x minus k plus y minus k. So this will be x plus y minus k. This k and k gets cancelled. So this whole thing universal will be x plus y minus k. And this universal set is equals to 50. This universal set is equals to 50. So that means what is the value of x? X is 28 plus y is 32 minus k is equals to 50. So that means this is what? This is 60. 32 plus 28 is 60. 60 minus k is equals to 50. So that means if I take this side, so that means k is equals to 10. I will get the value of k is equals to 10. That means if I'll again redraw, I've redrawn this, so this will become set x, set y. This is set x and this is set y. Inside we had 10 elements. X has 28. So 28 minus 10 is 18. And set y has 32. 32 minus 10 is 20. Right? 22 plus 18, 40. 40 plus 10, 50. So total elements 50. Inside only x. This 18 is only x. This 22 is only y. And this is x intersection y. Right? 18 plus 10, 28 is x. 10 plus 22 is 32, which is fine. I hope this is okay. This example is very basic, very trivial. Okay. Let's see the next example. Okay. Now these all were sets containing two. These all were universal set which have two sets inside. Fine. Let's do a question in which let's complicate a question a little bit. Using the same concept, we'll do a question which has three sets inside. Right. So this will have three sets inside. So something like this. Fine, something like this. Okay, so before starting the next session, we'll see different parts. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is C. Okay, I'm naming the region. So this is region 1, this is 2, this is region 3, this is region 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fine. So I'm naming these region. This 1, 2, 3, they are not elements, these are region. Fine. So let's see. So first I will write different sets. I want you to write down the region based on those sets. Right? So first A only, B only, C only. Next is A intersection B, B intersection C, and C intersection A. Next is A intersection B only, A intersection C only, and C intersection B only. Fine. Next is A intersection B intersection C. Okay, and then fine. First, write down all these sets. Write down the region based on this for all these sets. Copy the diagram. Name the sets. Name the region exactly what I have written, and copy these parts, and then write down the region based on this. Okay, so let's see. A only means which contains the region which contains only A. So I think this you must have guessed correctly, that this is only A will be only this part, which is region 2. Okay. Similarly, only B will be this region, this part, that means only 6. C only will be region 8, that means 8. This is okay. Everybody understood? Very good. A intersection B. A intersection B is, forget about set C. Forget about set C. If they are talking about only A and B, forget about set C. What will be A intersection B? It will be 3 and 5. A intersection will be 3 and 5. So that means 3 and 3 plus 5. Understood? 3 and 5. This will be intersection B. B intersection C. B intersection C will be 5 and 7. 5 and 7. So this will be 5 plus 7. Okay. Second, next is C intersection A. C intersection A, which is 4 and 5. This part is 4 and 5. Okay. So this is 4 plus 5. Okay. Let's see. A intersection B only. That means this A intersection B only should contain only the part which is an intersection of A and set B. It should not have anything. It should not have anything to do with set C. It should not have to do anything with set C. So A intersection B is 3 and 5. A intersection B only will be only part 3. This 5 will be excluded. This 5 will be excluded. Fine. A intersection C only. That means A and C, only A and C, which has nothing to do with B. So which is that part? 4. Fine. Next is C intersection B. C intersection B, which has this thing 5 and 7. C intersection B only will be which has to do nothing with set A. So that means only 7. Okay. And in this we can see what is A intersection B intersection C. A intersection B intersection C is nothing but this 5. Fine. So I hope this Venn diagram is also very much clear to all of you. Fine. So this we will end the class today till here only. In the next class, I will give you the example based on the Venn diagram, which has 3 different sets. Okay, and I will recommend you, if you have your NCERT books. If you do not have, you can always download your NCERT books from from CBSE online. Okay, you can download your NCERT books, and I want you to read first 24 pages of your NCERT books. Okay, whatever we have done today, Those were from the first 24 pages. I want you to read those 24 pages so that will be a revision for you, whatever we have done. Okay, that's all for today's class. We will meet tomorrow. Fine.